Welcome back to Unpack Radio. I'm your host, Norris the Pope Johnson. I have Miss Bela here, and we're going to be having an honest, open conversation about being black and trans in America. First and foremost, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being brave enough to do this, because I know you had your kind of, I don't know about this guy, so thank you for being brave enough to do this.
Thank you for having me. I'm just happy that you reached out and wanted to talk about these things that we're going to address today.
Well, you need to really thank my other half, because she brought the question. I was like, I don't know. But we're going to get the answer, but we're going to get to that later. But first, I want to get into your life. So we're going to start from the beginning. Where were you born? Where are you from? And what were the circumstances in your upbringing? Let's just that a little bit.
Okay, so I was born in Washington, D.C. I was born at D.C. General Hospital, actually. Mm-hmm. And I was raised in Southeast. I lived all over D.C., actually. I lived in Northeast. I lived at 1311 Florida Avenue, which is the Trinidad area. And then I moved to Southeast. And then I moved to Maryland. And then I just moved everywhere.
Okay, let's get into, from your earliest recollection, how was your childhood? Single parents, two-family household, how was your childhood coming up?
Growing up, I had my mom, both my mom and dad was in my life, but my dad lived in Virginia, and I lived in D.C. with my mom and my stepdad.
Okay.
So I had a mom and dad household figure.
Okay. And how was that coming up?
It was
always
great.
Supportive? Or?
It was growing up, because growing up, we lived with my aunt, so it was like we had a lot of people around us. So I had my cousins, my brother, my sisters. So it was like we didn't really have to go outside because we had a lot of us, and when we did go outside, we played with each other. So we didn't really, growing up was really cool, but growing up gay, if that's what you're asking, it was like I didn't come into that until I was 13. So I came out at 13 to my parents.
At 13 you came out. How did that feel?
I felt liberated. I was free.
And what does that mean to you to be free at that point at 13?
Well, my parents raised me to always speak my mind and always just be real with yourself and not worry about what others feel about you. So I know they probably hate that to this day. So it was more so, like when I told my mom, she didn't like it at first. She was just like, not in this house. So I was just like, okay. I left home because I wanted to be myself.
So you left home at 13? Mm-hmm. And where did you go?
My sister's house.
And how was that at that point at 13 years old? You made the decision to leave home.
It was fun, cause like I was living with my sister. She had her own place. She was 18, I was 13. So, we was raising each other. Like she was raising me, I was raising her.
Now, were you still going to school at this time?
I was still going to school.
Dipping and dabbling? What was going on?
I was going to school, but school just wasn't for me. I was still going to school, but I was partying. I was hanging out. I was in the streets. I was partying, clubbing. And when I saw my teacher in the club, I was just like, what's school for? So I dropped out of school at like 17.
So at 17 years old, you made a conscious decision to completely walk away from the education system.
I was making too much money.
Making too much money doing what now, Bella?
I was doing hair back then. I was in the streets. I was in the streets. I was doing hair by night, prostituting by day. Doing hair by day, prostituting by night.
And where were you located when you were on the streets?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Wherever the money was. But K Street normally.
What part of K Street? Because my wife didn't believe me, so what part of K Street were you on?
5th and K, 2nd and K, 3rd and K, all of K Street, honey.
Over there by good old Surgeon Quarters and Temple Courts. See,
period.
Some people
I grew up in Tyler House.
You grew up in Tyler House?
I grew up in Tyler House.
I did security at Tyler House. Yeah, it's a very interesting place.
You was for security at Tyler House?
The seaside was the craziest side of the building.
I lived in C441.
Then you heard it, Bella. I'm sorry to tell you, you heard it. I got many calls for that seaside.
Thank you.
I got many calls to come over there and pull a dude off for somebody over the seaside.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it probably was
a lot of domestic violence over there on that seaside.
I didn't get involved in that domestic stuff.
Oh my God, the seaside.
I didn't, I wasn't, growing up, I didn't have to do all that fighting until like I did fight, but I didn't fight a lot.
Okay.
But people didn't bother me because of my mouth. They was just like, young, your mouth is reckless. So like they knew not to mess with me because my mouth was reckless. But when I did fight, if you fought me, you had to fight everybody.
Okay. Now, 17, you running the streets.
Mm-hmm.
What did it really feel like to be out there? Because you're alone. You kind of really don't know who car you may or may not be in. So please break it down as many details as possible.
So growing up 17 and being out there in those streets, I mean, it was like, of course, you out there, you get caught up in a life. You know, I got involved in drugs, alcohol. So, like, I would drink, smoke before I would go out there because I really didn't want to do it, but I was in some survival mode. I had to survive. I had to find my way. Like I said, when I left home, when you leave home, you don't call your parents for nothing. You're surviving. So, by any means necessary.
Now, what does survival mode look like to you?
Survival mode look like, to me, is like, I'm going to go get some money. Like, I know how to get some money. So, you know, being young and being gay, and you have, you know, back then, I would dress up at night and be a boy by day.
Mm-hmm.
So at night, it was just like being trans on K Street, yeah. Especially at being a fresh face, you made money. Mm-hmm. So I was in and out of cars, like making back then you can make $500 on a bad night. Mm-hmm. And on a good night, $2,000-$3,000.
Now, were you ever arrested for your extracurricular activities?
I didn't get arrested till I was older. Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that some shit?
We don't build up to that. So you out there, you're 17, you walking the streets, you hopping in and out of cars. Have you ever had any close calls while you were 17?
I actually did. One time I was out there, and this is when I first gave up prostitution. I was out there, and these boys picked me up, and they put me in the trunk of their car.
The trunk of the car?
The trunk of the car. Yeah. Drove me all the way out Dumfries, Virginia.
Dumfries, Virginia.
In the trunk of the car.
Now, emotionally, while you're in that trunk, what was going through your mind?
Were you thinking it was the end? I was like, this is the end. Like, I was 17. I was crying. I was like, oh, my God, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. Like, I had heels on. I had this little dress on, this wig. I was just like, oh, my God, this is not I want to die. This is not I want to die. So I'm, like, in the trunk of the car. I'm just kicking the back seat of the car because we were at a stop. We stopped for a while. And I just kept kicking the back seat of the car, kicking the back seat of the car. And this was before they put the latches in the trunk. Mm-hmm. So I finally was able to get out. I pushed the back seat, fell out eventually. And I noticed we were at a gas station. And lo and behold, I was like, okay, we at a gas station. So they were still in the store. And I saw this lady getting out of her car. Mind you, it's Virginia. Mm-hmm. She got her car, left her car running. Needless to say, we got home. So I made it back home. I took off all my clothes. I took my head, my heels off, and I banged on the window. I was like, my brother opened the door. He was like, you know, Mom gonna kill you, right? I was like, I know, but just let me in. So after that, it was just like, I took a break for many, many years. I took a break, and then I had my son when I was 19, and I had my daughter when I had my...
Hold on, let's back up, because I'm trying to rush through the story. We want to let it build nice, like a nice roasted chicken. We want to let it be perfect. Okay. So you come back home, you straighten out your life, you stop dibbling and dabbling on the streets.
I had to. Like, that was, for me, that was just like, right there, that moment was just like, chill out. Mm-hmm. So I chilled out for a minute. I got back into school, doing school stuff, going back to work, being productive in the community.
Now I know you had a close call. Was that the reason you really straightened it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because these, they had guns. They had a gun on me and everything, and it was just like, oh no, like. Mm-mm.
So now I noticed you said I had a son. So at that point, did you go back to living your life as? Oh no. I've always, when I came out at 13, I came out as bisexual, and that's just how I lived my life up at that point.
I transitioned.
Okay, so at that point, you lived your life as a bisexual person. Mm-hmm. And you met a young lady.
Mm-hmm. My kid's mother, Ebony. My wifey, Ebony Green.
Okay, and how did that work out?
We was best friends in middle school. Like, we was friends in middle school. We was friends in high school. And, like, we never saw each other romantically. Mm-hmm. And, we were we was Bonnie and Clyde. We was always together. When you saw her, you saw me, and it just happened. It just one night. It just happened, and we was together.
For how long?
5, 6 years.
5 to 6 years.
Together, we were together like 5 years, but we're still married to this day.
Oh, okay. Did you leave the streets alone for that time period while you was with her?
I did.
Okay, so you living in life as a regular citizen. You became a father figure.
Correct.
Okay, how many kids you have again?
2.
Because I remember we had a personal conversation about why you waited so long. So why did you wait so long to transition?
Because I had children. I had my son when I was 19, my daughter when I was 20. And I always knew I wanted to transition. I always knew that I wanted to do it, but I also knew that I wanted to be a father too. So I stopped everything. When she got pregnant, I put everything on the back burner. And when she got pregnant with my son, then we had our daughter. 10 months later, like our kids are back to back. So I just wanted to be a parent. So I focused on my kids. That was my focus. That was my drive. My kids was my push. I just kept going for them, They was my everything. So I put my life on the back burner. And next thing you know, it's just like, what about Bella?
Okay. And at that point, what did fatherhood look like for you?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. I raised my kids. I worked 2 jobs and went to school. I went to head school and worked at Checkers, and I worked at a restaurant in Virginia at the time to raise them. Yeah.
So you did everything you could. You sacrificed your personal journey for your kids. Now, how did that feel to you to really sacrifice that?
It was like, for them, I would give up everything, I would give up everything. But I lost myself. And I was unhappy. I knew I was unhappy, but I would never show it on the surface.
Now, what do you mean by you lost yourself, and how did you find yourself?
I mean, I was always gay. Like I said, I was a flamboyant father. Like, I dressed good. My kids dressed good. So, but I was always flamboyant. I always was just like, if you saw me, you knew I was gay. It wasn't denying that. And it was just like, I just wanted them to have the father figure in their life. So I just lost myself. And next thing I know, time went on, and I was just living for everybody else, my mom, my dad, doing everything they wanted me to do. And I was just like, next thing you know, I'm in my 30s. And I was just like, oh, no. And I just noticed that I was unhappy. I was doing damaging things. I was very destructive with my life, into drugs heavily, drinking, partying. I just didn't have a value for life. I didn't value life. And I was ready to die. I was doing everything to die. But God was just like, nope, nope. You're going to struggle. You're going to go through these things. Got a better plan for you. So that's what happened.
Now, what is your current call to action?
My current call to action is I have a nonprofit by the name of THR, which means Trans Health Resources. And I am now an activist.
Okay.
And I focus on helping people who are re-entering the community from jail, especially trans women and trans men, or people from the LGBTQ community, because we face so many hardships. And me experiencing it firsthand and being in DC jail as a trans woman and being there and dealing with the issues of, having to go through the things no one should ever have to go through.
Now, explain some of those things for people so they can really get what we got.
Okay, so like when you get locked up and you go to jail as a trans person, they prefer to you as the person you was. They put no respect on your name, no respect on your check.
What we now call dead naming.
Right.
Yes.
So, like, when I got there, and they was just like, I was like, I'm a woman, I'm sitting here with boobs, head down my ass, and y'all want me to get dressed in front of these men. They was like, you one of them. You one of the fellas tonight. And I was just like, this cannot be real. And I was like, not again. This cannot happen again.
Now, how long was you in for?
Oh, 30 days.
Now, how was that 30 days?
Oh, I live like a queen.
Okay.
It's so funny. When you go to jail as a trans woman, it's like it takes a lot out of you. But once you get in that cell and you do like the first 24 hours, and once you go to permanent residency before you leave, once they put you in your unit, when you get on that unit, of course, you're going to deal with all the slurs and everybody calling you names and stuff like that. But once you're on a block, you scope things out, you know, and you find that your husband. You get your husband.
So you find a husband.
Or husbands.
What is the benefits of that while incarcerated?
The benefits are you have protection. You have somebody who protects you. And then you get all the food.
Okay.
I didn't have to eat the jail food.
Okay, so you had services rendered pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay. now you out. You finally escaped all your stuff you were doing on the streets. How does it feel now to be out here living your truth and also saving lives?
It's amazing. I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not. Currently, I'm taking care of someone who's very near and dear to my heart, and I call her my daughter. She's a woman like myself, and, you know, out here, it's a dangerous world for trans women. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. It takes a lot of confidence to get up and be this way every day and go out and face the world, a world that says that you shouldn't exist, the world that says that, like, the life you live is just like, I don't know how to say it other than what you're doing is just fucked up.
Okay. Now,
it's confusing to people.
Okay. If I gave you a magic wand right now, and I asked you, what would your perfect world look like? What would you say?
What would my perfect world look like?
When I gave you the magic wand right now, you got it in your hands, you can make your own reality, and what will your perfect situation look like right now for the world to see you as who you are?
In the perfect world, trans people would just, we will be able to be who we are and not have to look behind us and worry about what people are going to say, worry about if we're going to get a job, worry about where we're going to live, how we're going to survive in the perfect world.
Okay.
In my perfect world, trans people would just be regular human beings as everybody else would be.
That was my last question because I noticed on the young lady friend of me, she had a shirt on that said trans and human. So I understand the trans part, but why is it important for people to see you as a human being?
Because I am a human being. If you cut me and yourself, what we gonna do?
We both gonna bleed.
Red, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you have it. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Bela is my daughter, biological daughter that I could never have, but came into my life to remind me of how beautiful Black trans women are. And to me, she's the hope. I've seen her fall. I've seen her cry. I've seen her laugh. I've seen her dream of having a better life. I've seen her go out into the world knowing that sometimes she may not come back. But she always stood strong and led the world that she too had a right to be here.
What I hope for the future is that I can walk outside and don't have to feel pressure or that's itching feeling in the back of my throat where I feel just scared and just like, okay, well, who's going to look at me? Who's going to laugh at me today?
I feel accepted when I'm able to state my opinion from a trans standpoint and from other standpoints and be able to speak for other people who may not have a voice for themselves.
I feel accepted when people respect me and my pronouns when I step into a room. Hi, my name is Bela Muney. My pronouns are she, her, Black Barbie, the Queen. Okay, I mean, I'm nervous. I had my Wheaties this morning. Okay. I've never been around a whole bunch of girls who want to empower each other. Scotch Ruby is...
Welcome back to Unpack Radio. I am your host, Norris the Pope Johnson. We have Miss Maya Powers here. Hello, love. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Slide on up.
Slide on up. I'm
sorry. Slide on up to the mic.
Okay, make love to the mic.
Make love to the mic.
Okay. I'm
Now-
here.
Now, my first question, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where did you start from?
Start from as far as my transition.
Now you're going to transition. Let's go into your childhood a little bit. Let's build up.
Okay, so my childhood. So I'm from PG County, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
I have an identical twin brother, and it's just he and I. And we come from, we weren't wealthy, but we were okay.
Okay.
You know, and we had a little bit of change growing up. My parents did, and so we kind of lived this silver spoon life, as they say.
Okay. Now, have you always lived your life this way? Did you transition late? Did you
No,
transition
so
early?
funny thing is, so I started my transition when I was 14, so in high school. So I met a few people, some gay people, and they introduced me to the gay lifestyle, and I just kind of never connected with being a gay man.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that, I kind of knew that it was something else. So I met some trans women. They was like, "Oh, you're so pretty, you're so small, da-da-da-da, let me put you in girl clothes and just see what happened." So they put me in girl clothes, and it was just, oh, yeah, this is it. You know, and it was no going back from there.
No turning back.
However,
However,
no turning back, but, you know, so I'm 38 years old, and so back then things were a little different. We didn't have a lot of the resources, you know, insurance wasn't paying for hormones. It was a struggle. So, and then my twin brother, there was we were always very close. And then my twin brother, he sort of started to pull back from me a little bit. And he was, one time he made a comment about being uncomfortable with me around his kids. And it like hurt me to the core. Oh my gosh. Because my brother and I, we were so close.
now,
And
time
so
out. How did that really make you feel for your own, someone who literally, your reflection of you, tell you that I don't even want you around my family? How did that really make you feel?
So I cried, and, thinking back now, my brother was young. We were maybe 16 at the time. But, I cried and I actually stopped being a girl. I completely stopped. So this was probably maybe, I started at 14, then I probably stopped about 18. And then stopped for years.
How many
Stopped
years?
for about 10 years. And then started back up, and here we are now.
Now, for those 10 years, where were you living your life as a?
So I was living my life as a guy, and I'm attracted to females. I'm more interested in females than I am males, but I've dated males because it kind of just goes with the package, and that's another story. But yes, so I was living as a man. I got a job. I was working for the federal government. I had 2 kids.
Oh, you had 2 kids.
I had 2 kids, 2 biological children with a woman.
Oh wow, this is getting very interesting.
It gets more interesting.
Now, how did that work out for you and your other half at that time?
So it actually worked out great. We're actually now married.
Oh, legally.
And we're legally married.
Are
and
you the one that the wife transitioned to?
So my husband, yes, was born female.
Yeah.
And we actually met as our birth genders. He was a female, I was a guy. We got together, we met, we were cool, we had kids, everything was great. And then we both decided that we wanted to transition later in life.
Now, how did that conversation work out?
So actually, I was on a TV show on MTV.
I think I saw it.
Did you?
I think I may have saw
Okay,
it.
and so that's kind of how that played out. It played out on television. Yeah.
So in front of the whole world, pretty much both your transitions played out. Did that?
In front of about 10 million people, yes.
Now, how did that make you feel at the time?
Well, I was like so freaking emotional. Like I was on so many hormones. And I mean,
True.
hormones,
Very true.
Estrogen, you don't know about it, but estrogen just gets you tears all over the place. So I was emotional. It was a very emotional time. I was very depressed. A friend of mine had just passed as well. And so it was a trying time for me. Like I was depressed. I quit my job. It was just a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you come back from that depression?
I don't know. Like now thinking back, like I really don't know. I guess like once I transitioned, it's so when I retransitioned 2.0 as we call it, the 2.0, it sort of just brought me back to who I was. I think that I was like partying so much. I was drinking, I was running the streets, I was just kind of being wild, and that wasn't me. And so I think it was because I was fighting who I really was.
Now, when you mean by fighting who you were,
Mm-hmm.
why were you doing that? Was it because of society rules and regulations, or was it just because you were just not unsure? Why?
So I think it was a combo. I mean, like I told you, so I detransitioned the first time, 1.0, was when my brother, had a distaste for it. And so I think that from that moment, I was just like doing it for other people as far as detransitioning. And so when I was detransitioning for everyone else, it just made me miserable. I wasn't who I was. I was like dating men. I was just doing stuff I didn't want to be doing. And nothing like sexual or really bad or drugs or anything like that, but I was living as a man, and I didn't want to live as a man. And I have an identical twin brother. My brother made me feel guilty a lot. But by the way, let me say this: my brother and I, we're like best friends.
I was going to ask
Like
that.
we're really close now. Yes, I love my brother, and so we're really close. He has my back. He's cool with gay people. He's cool with trans people. He's on board 100%. But back then it just sort of, I just stopped and I realized I was doing it for everyone else, and not myself.
So now that you're living your truth, how does it really feel to you and your other half? Because you both have made some major changes in life. So how does it feel to really live your truth?
So, well, for me, it feels great. I mean, I feel authentic. This is the organic me. My brother doesn't really, he doesn't like it. I'm not going to lie. He supports me. He's one of my best friends. We're really close, but he don't like it. He missed his twin, and because I've had a lot of surgery, we look a little different now because of the surgery, and so he doesn't like it.
Well, you'll always be his twin.
I always, when you run that DNA baby, I'm always be that twin.
You're always going to be, it's always going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my main question is, how do you raise children in your circumstance? Because this is something new.
Yeah.
So how does that work out in the household?
Well, which part? So my kids, they see, excuse me, I had some wine. So my kids, they see a mother and a father. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's important. We raised them. I have a full-time job. I'm a federal employee. I've been a federal employee for almost 15 years. I run a nonprofit organization. I own a home. This is my third home that I've owned. We live a normal life. My kids have a Christmas. There's a Christmas tree up. There's gifts. There's mom and dad. They don't see a difference. And we deal with a lot of hate publicly because we've been on television. We have a couple more shows coming out soon, but because of COVID, they got on pause. Mm-hmm. So when people know about all that, they sort of, they have a lot to say. I mean, something went viral with my husband and I. It was about 80,000 comments and shares. And I mean, the comments were horrible. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't secure within myself, I mean, you got a lot of positive as well. Mm-hmm. But if I wasn't secure within myself, it would be horrible. But for my children, they don't see that, thankfully, at this age. And my husband wants to open up and talk to them, but I don't. I'm not ready for that.
Now, when you make that conscious decision to finally open up and really expose them to everything, how you think it's going to make them feel?
I think they already know. Kids aren't stupid.
No, they're not.
Kids aren't stupid. And, my son, my oldest son is 10 years old. I have a 10 and a 7-year-old. My oldest son, Carson, he goes to my grandmother's house, and he's been to my grandmother's house, his grandmother's house, which is my mother, and he'll see baby pictures of my brother and I. Mm-hmm. He laughs and giggles, and who is this? And, make little, and, we kind of just brush it off and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think he knows. My youngest, he's 7. He's in La La Land, being a 7-year-old. But it's going to be tough for me. Growing up, always being different, always being a black sheep, always thinking that people don't understand you. I said to myself, when I create a family, they're going to love me. The family is going to be mine, and no one's going to tell me nothing. They're going to have unconditional love. And so I've always been afraid that if I open that up to them, that they would kind of feel some type of way. You know what younger kids go through, and it's just, they just have so many distractions. Mm-hmm. And I don't want my kids to get distracted and love me any less than they do.
I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
I will hope not. I will hope that your kids know that you love them. First
well,
and
they
foremost.
definitely know that, for sure. But
forget what society has to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all about, one, I'm big a component on family, so I appreciate what you and your husband are doing. I appreciate you providing a good household for your family.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about. Now, what does family mean to you?
What does family mean to me? Family means unconditional. And family means unconditional. Family means, just not judging and just always having someone there. And, you guys, family should be able to get through anything together, because the world is tough. The world is going to eat you alive and spit you out. And, family shouldn't do that. Family should prepare you for it, but they shouldn't treat you like the world is going to treat you. And I've been thankful to have that.
That is an outstanding statement. Now, what is your call to action?
My call to action, what do you mean? Like, as far as
What are your goals with your nonprofit? What is your goal with your family? What would you like to see happen with this world that we're currently living in? Because there's a lot of dirty things going on with it. Now, we're going to bring that up later.
Yeah.
But what is your call to action right now?
I mean, geez, I don't know where to begin. So with my organization, I'm opening up a homeless shelter. So that's something that I've always been very passionate about, was the homeless, helping the homeless, providing clothes, money, condoms, anything that the homeless individuals need. I want to be there for them. So that's pretty much what I'm working on now. And just, I moved to the country. I'm from Kitland, from the hood, and it's from Landover. And so I moved to the country out by Winchester. And I just wanted a better life for my kids. Right now it's all about my children. Everything I do, every move I make, being here sitting with you, it's to elevate something for my kids. And, just us sitting here having this conversation, somebody's going to hear it. Somebody's going to change the way that they view our community based on the personalities who've been sitting up here with you, and that's going to hopefully help my kids in the future. And that's what it's about.
Now, if I hand you a magic wand right now,
Yeah.
it's in your hands. You can make your own reality. What would you like to see?
I don't know. Like, if you would have asked me that maybe 5 or 10 years ago, I honestly think I would have said the life that I have now 10 years ago. I mean, my life is so amazing. I live in a country. I go on my porch. I look out at the mountains. I have a wonderful husband. I have 2 kids. We have, the financial backing to do what we need to do to live comfortably. I have great friends. My family all accept me. I mean, my father is amazing. A lot of transgender people say that their mom was cool, but their dad wasn't. I mean, my dad accepted me right off the back. And I see him, almost as much as my mom, but he just lives a little further. So, I mean, I have a wonderful life. But I do have aspirations. I do want to open up a homeless shelter. I want to get that off the ground, which is happening. I do want to be a host to a television show. I do have some entertainment goals that I'm close to. So hopefully that magic wand would totally give me that. Like, I don't even really want to be famous too much. Just give me the money on the back end. I just want my kids, I lived a very comfortable life, but I want my kids to live more comfortably than I did.
That is always the case.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to bring Bela back up right after this break. Woo. I'm going to slide to the middle.
Bela is my daughter, biological daughter that I could never have, but came into my life to remind me of how beautiful Black trans women are. And to me, she's the hope. I've seen her fall. I've seen her cry. I've seen her laugh. I've seen her dream of having a better life. I've seen her go out into the world knowing that sometimes she may not come back. But she always stood strong and let the world that she too had a right to be here.
What I hope for the future is that I can walk outside and don't have to feel pressure or that's itching feeling in the back of my throat where I feel just scared and just like, okay, well, who's gonna look at me? Who's gonna laugh at me today?
I feel accepted when I'm able to state my opinion from a trans standpoint and from other standpoints and be able to speak for other people who may not have a voice for themselves.
I feel accepted when people respect me and my pronouns when I step into a room. Hi, my name is Bela Muney. My pronouns are she, her, Black Barbie, the queen. Okay, I'm nervous. I had my Wheaties this morning. Okay. I've never been around a whole bunch of girls who want to empower each other. Casa Ruby is not just an organization, it's a family setting. So when you come here, you're gonna fight, you're gonna have your daily arguments, but at the end of the day, we stick together in here. I came out as 13 as bisexual, so my family had already knew that I was different. So coming up for me, like, I demanded respect from the jump. My mom said, not this demon in my house, you can't be here. And I was just like, well, okay, I ain't gotta be here then. So I left home, and I moved with my sister, and that's where I learned my independence at.
Welcome back to Unpack Radio. I'm your host, Norris the Pope Johnson. I have Miss Bella, Miss Maya Powers, and now we're going to get into some general questions that I had. This is what we came for, baby.
Okay.
And it's Maya Power with no S on the end. Everyone puts an S on the end. It's not
Because you have the
Austin.
powers,
It's
girl.
not Austin Powers.
Girl.
It's power. Power to the people.
My first general question, you can go any direction. Whoever want to take it first. First general question.
Okay.
This for my wife. We was sitting at home watching the
But why
shot.
wife can't be up here? She need to be up here with ass. She
She's
want
shy.
to ask the question.
She's shy, but she's the one that brought it up to my attention. And I said it was a good question.
Okay,
and
go
I didn't
for it.
have the answer, but I would get it for her.
Go for it.
We're watching the shot.
Yeah.
Y'all watched the shot, right?
The shot,
Yeah.
the transgender girl.
You had the guy who's a thug, street thug.
Mm-hmm.
You had a transgender woman.
Mm-hmm.
Can a heterosexual male love a transgender woman? Whoever want to take it first.
Of course.
Period.
Of course. And I'm not saying that biasly. You know, because people look at me as a transgender woman and I date women, and they're looking at me like, well, how could you love a woman? You're supposed to be gay. You're supposed to like men. But see, that's what people don't understand. Sexuality and gender does not go together. Just because you're trans don't mean you want a man. Don't mean you... Can we curse on here and say bad words?
You can do whatever you want.
It's not official network, bitch.
I don't cuss, but you can do whatever you want, love.
So just because you're trans don't mean you want dick, okay? Because
I want it.
it's not my favorite. You do. It's not really my favorite cup of tea. And so I do believe it can happen. Now, this is the thing. I see transgender people, cisgender females, cisgender men. Cisgender means you were born a certain way and you identify as a certain way. That's what cis means. C-I-S. I think that there are three different genders. I think that transgender, cisgender males, cisgender females are three different genders, and people can be attracted to the third gender, which is transgender people. I do agree. And not be some type of fruity dude.
Well, me personally, any man that deals with me, you are a heterosexual man because I am a woman. Now, if we participate in gay activity, then that's when those pronouns come in. But other than that, you are a heterosexual man because I'm a woman.
What's
you're a
gay
man.
activities, though?
Yeah.
What's gay activities?
What's gay activity?
Yeah.
When you start letting me play with your bud.
Wait a minute.
Well, that's all your men.
What
What's
if,
that?
Well, that's all your men.
That's not all my men.
Is that
All
what
my
he-
men do not want to.
No, I'm just kidding.
Girl.
So,
now, time out. That's not. Let's take it one at a time. I gotta play referee. All right. Now, what do you
You
mean?
try.
No. What do you mean? Play with my butt? Do you mean a finger? Do you mean a dildo? Do you mean?
No.
Have you made a full transition?
No, I want those things.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I respect all girls who want to do that and go get the vajayjay and all that stuff. That's not for me. It's not for me. I don't want to do it. And, you know, me and my dad, my dad and Maya, me and Maya, you know, me and Maya, we transitioned like at the same time. So like we've known each other for eons. So like she just brought something back to me. Like me and my dad
like when I transitioned, my dad was like, "Oh."
And your dad, you're talking about my husband, right?
No, my real dad.
Oh, your real father. Okay, you gotta be clear. Because I was like, what are we
Right.
doing?
Okay, so I have multiple parents, and Maya's one of them. Maya's not only my sister, but she's also my mother by marriage.
By marriage.
Because her husband is my life father. So my real dad and me, we have the best relationship.
Okay.
And when I transitioned, it was hard for him at first because I was his junior. And I changed my name to become Bela. And like that was the most hurting thing for him.
That can hurt.
That it hurted him really, really bad. But still to this day, my dad can call me Junior. Like, but if somebody else was to call me anything other than Bela, you're gonna get checked from the neck up.
Okay.
Period, poo. So it don't matter. But my dad is such an awesome guy. An awesome guy. But he makes jokes. He's like, I don't care what you do, just don't cut it off. Don't cut your kickstand off. And I'm like,
Not the kickstand.
I don't want to do that because I have fun and the guys I deal with have fun with it.
Oh, so the guys you deal with, let's make this clear.
Period.
We on Uncensored Radio.
Uncensored Radio.
We're going to make this clear.
Any man I deal with, baby.
They like a little ride every now and then.
See, I don't like that because for me, I feel like
She don't like it.
I don't.
Hold on, time out. We going to let her.
Yeah, I don't really like that, and I mean,
Well, why she spill her tea, I'm going to drink my tea.
Drink your tea, love.
Yeah, I don't really care for that too much. Like, I don't want a man to lust over my penis. Like, I mean, I'm already, yes, God, I do. I made 2 kids. I'm scheduled right now, but I'm scheduled right now to have a sex change.
A full transition.
Full transition, yes, totally. And I'm not, I don't want a man to lust over my penis because to me, that's some type of, that's just not what I'm interested in. And I mean, I'm married, I have a husband, but, you know, my husband and I, we like to party and play. You know, I mean,
Don't spill too much.
I know,
Don't
I forgot.
spill too much.
But no, I mean, it's fine. Like, I mean, my husband and I, we've been friends. My husband and I have been friends for 15 years. And, you know, we have an openness.
Shout out to my daddy, Kennedy
We have
Power.
an openness and we have an understanding. And so it's like, if I meet a man, I don't want him to be just so focused on my penis because to me, that's a gay man.
Do we have to call it a penis?
What is it?
A lollipop?
No, that's no.
No, we're not children. We're gonna call
Right,
it.
we're
We're
gonna
gonna call
call it
it
what the
thing
hell
a
it
thing.
is.
No, it's a lollipop.
Some men out here like to ride the eggplant emoji.
It doesn't make them gay though. No, let me not say that. Let me retract that. It
Why
does
the
not.
eggplant emoji though?
It does not make a man gay to enjoy a penis on a woman. I know it might sound crazy.
And it's called pegging. Let's get it together. It's called
Oh, I
pegging.
didn't even know it had
There's
a name.
actually, if you look it up,
Time
it's,
out, Bella.
it's
Pegging
P-
is when there's a dildo. When there's a
That's what I thought
real
as
live
well.
penis, that is a little
So
extra.
do you want to debate this conversation? Whether it's
But I think
plastic
he's
or
right,
it's
though.
real, it's pegging.
Okay, we'll get
Whether it's plastic or real.
For time's sake, we'll go with the pegging.
Okay.
But
For
Yeah,
time's sake.
I just don't want a man that's gonna lust over my penis because to me, how can you appreciate me as a woman and my female? But I want you to touch my breasts. I want you to play with my hair. I want you to
Touch my
caress my
breasts, play
body.
with my hair, and
don't
go
if
down
you go
there.
right for my penis, that just takes me back to a time where I was fooling with men and I was just faking gay, and I just don't want to feel like that again. You know, so I don't need a man to lust over my penis.
Now you see why I wanted you to have 2 different versions.
perspectives. Yeah, because her perspective is way different than mine.
Yeah, Maya is more, but there's the white woman. I am more
Fairfax.
Fairfax.
There you go.
Fairfax County.
I am more.
Yeah.
I'm more.
Tallahassee C corridor.
Yeah. Period. but I have
Surf
grown
some
up.
quarter.
I have grown up, and now I'm a Capitol Hill girl. So
I saw the pool side. I'm
Yeah.
from the hood
Capitol
to the pool
Hill,
side.
Potomac Avenue, Capitol Hill. You not the real Capitol Hill girl. You Potomac Avenue.
But I will say, and it's because of the guidance and the leadership that I have in my life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am becoming the woman that I am.
Okay.
And I am, like, really, I'm ratchet as hell. But between Maya and my mother Ruby giving me the guidance that I'm learning, it's just like,
Okay, when I transitioned to make myself better. But I still had some habits
that you need to work on.
Right. Am I a, you know, sister, I love you down.
Girl, I
Mama,
stay on top of you, honey.
she stays on top of me about, you know, certain ways I conduct myself because she's like, girl, you a lady. You don't have to act like that. You don't have to be that ratchet. And I'm just like, girl, I'm gonna be true to who I am. And she's like, sweetie, be true to who you are, but still be a lady. And I love it though. And I love it because it just makes me
Check yourself.
Yeah, really. It makes me check myself because I am, like she said, like I am, when it comes to being trans and I see other trans girls, I'm very much so different than them.
Okay.
I'm not like them. I'm a different breed. Like, you know, a lot of trans women, they focus on what's real. Like, they want to be in the ballroom scene. They want to be, you know, that's not me. That's not what I want to do. I'm not a ballroom scene girl. I don't want to walk categories. My realness is not based on how much surgery I've had. My realness is not based on how you see me. My realness is just what I see it as, and that's just me. Like I said, I get on my Facebook Live. You follow me. I get on my Facebook Live, no makeup, no hair, no nothing. And that's because I want other younger trans people to see that.
Y'all bitches think I fell off. I have a photographic memory, Bella. But my next toss-up question for both of you. How do you feel now? Because now it seems like ever since Orange is the New Black, the trans community has been very well represented on Hollywood scene. So how do you feel about that, and how do you think they're really showing the trans community?
I don't think it's really as good as it could be because I mean a lot of the roles that they put transgender women in are prostitutes, are in jail, are getting raped, are streetwalkers. I mean there are a couple trans programs where you see a woman who's an attorney or she worked in an office. I can't remember what program that was, but
what's wrong with that?
The girl, she's
time out. Oh no, are you a nerd?
Who?
I'm a nerd.
A nerd?
It's a trans superhero. Her name is Dreamer, and she's on The Flash.
What? Whoa, really?
Really?
You can't dip in my world, Bella. I'm a nerd.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Shout out to The Flash. The character name is Dreamer.
Okay.
And she's on The Flash.
Well,
and she's a
guys
trans
noticed
woman.
that no. Have you guys noticed that every show now wants to have someone trans in their narrative?
But it's been a lot of shade. Like I said, I'm trying to explore into television, and it's still very difficult for trans women to get out there. You know, and they went through this whole big old stink in Hollywood where they were getting cisgender females to play transgender people. Roles. And I mean, the transgender community went ape shit. You know, and so they start putting transgender people in these roles who are actually excelling and doing great. But it's still a struggle.
You know, they just recently tried that BS with somebody. I forgot who it was.
It was, yeah, they did.
Like, look at Pose. I'm sorry. Pose should be, it is, how you going to not give that show an Emmy? How you not give Pose an Emmy?
Oh, the one on Netflix, right?
How you not give Pose an Emmy? You not, or RuPaul, AJ and the Queen. How you not give that an Emmy?
RuPaul is a beast.
Like, seriously.
RuPaul, you know, RuPaul.
RuPaul
Now that's the OG now.
No,
Wayman girl.
Right, but RuPaul is a drag queen. RuPaul is not transgender.
That's
it's a
true.
difference.
That is a difference.
And then also, RuPaul never really supported the transgender community. RuPaul,
say that, sister.
RuPaul supported white America, the white gay community, not really so much
the black community,
or trans community. Period. The power.
Right. Let's name a thing. This is Unpacked Radio. We're going to take a little break and we're going to come back with what would you do?
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Reggie, can you pull up that foil for me, please, and what people. Yeah, that's what we're going to do it then. Welcome back to Unpack Radio. I am your host, Norris the Pope Johnson, and we're going to get into what would you do once we get this picture up and running. Right now, we looking at a box right now.
If you can fuck with the RE crowd.
See what I'm saying?
It's not. It's all black right here, bro. It's all black. We looking at the dark. Yeah, we've been looking up here.
Yeah, we've been looking up top. That's my fault. Oh, it's okay. You're doing good.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. We gonna talk shit about you later in the highlights, though.
Yeah.
God dang old black people. That's why we can't have nice things now.
Okay.
All right, now we can see the photo. For y'all who can see it at home, this is my man.
Okay.
He's looking at it. He's with his lady. He's looking at another lady rear end. Real quick, 1 minute. What would you do? Whoever want to take it first.
I'm gonna look with him.
Yeah.
You gonna look with
I
him.
would have been like, damn, her ass was
Her
fat.
ass fat.
Well, as the only male in the middle,
Yeah.
my dude, you cannot be making these type of decisions in your life. You need to kind of get a little glance and keep it up moving.
I mean,
and keep the head straight.
But it depends on how you look, though.
Now you get a glance and you keep it up. Glance,
No.
glance, move.
So, like, but if you take the effort to go all the way and break your neck
My
around,
dad neck is broken.
yeah. Okay, on this
He
picture,
literally
his
broke
His
his
neck.
neck.
My dad broke his neck.
Yeah, you
That
get
would have
slapped.
been me though, breaking my
You
neck
get slapped
looking.
for that one. You get slapped for that one.
You get slapped.
But
No.
if you just look,
Nah. My dude.
Your wife would have
Keep
smacked
your
you.
head straight. You glance and you keep it moving. All right, Bella, we got to wrap up.
okay, but let me talk.
You got some organizations
Yes.
out there, so please give them
So-
all the organizations so people can get some solutions.
Okay,
to
so
these
we have Casa Ruby, which is located at 7530 Georgia Avenue. Shout out to Casa Ruby. We have THR, my organization, Trans Health Resource Logistics. We have HIPS, and I want to get a shout out to my girl, my auntie Sharice. And I have to mention that we have a candlelight visual on Thursday. Trials of our Trials, Trans Candlelight Visual on Thursday, September the 17th, from 6 to 7:30. You gotta wear all white, and it's gonna be at River Terrace Park Northeast. So please come out to that.
All right, Bella.
Yes.
If anybody want to make a transition, who can they go to get help?
If they want to make a transition, Whitman Walker.
Okay, where are they located?
Whitman Walker is located at 501 17th Street Northwest.
No, 1525.
Oh, 1525?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 1525.
Oh, yeah, 1525, 14th Street, Northwest.
Northwest.
Yes.
That may have been their old address.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was.
know.
The 501,
But yeah,
yes.
1525 14th Street, or you can reach out to Bella. Her organization can
Yes,
assist.
THR
My
or
organization can
Power
assist.
Safe Place.
Yep. So that's
Baltimore Safe Haven.
where Baltimore Safe Haven. Our girl
Casa
Aya.
Ruby. Shout out to my
Casa
girl
Ruby.
Aya.
Yep.
My mama Ruby Corrado. Shout out to Hips.
In Savannah with what is it? Trans. How do we say it? It's so long. I'm sorry, Savannah. Don't kill me. May is all about trans.
May is all about
May is
trans.
all about trans.
T-Walk. That's TWOCC. Yeah.
Okay,
Trans
ladies,
woman of color.
Where can they find you at in 1 minute or less?
They can find me. You can reach me at Facebook at Bela Monet or THR Trans page, my business page. Instagram. You can find my GoFundMe on Facebook. I'm on Facebook literally. I have a business page and I have my personal page. Please do not.
All right, we gotta cut it now.
Okay,
Cut.
Yeah. So Maya K Power, Instagram or Facebook, MYAK, and then Power, no S on the end, on Instagram or Facebook.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap this interesting conversation up, but we will be doing this again because it was very detailed. Next week, we'll be having Black Business. I got a few Black businesses I support in the past. I got Ray, I got Lettuce coming in. So we'll be talking to 2 Black business owners. Let's do this. Unpack Radio. Have a great day.
Bye, you guys.
Salute.